Welcome to Write That Down, a Probetus podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fisher. With me, as usual, to my left, Mr. Phil Irwin.
It is I.
Extreme close-up on Phil. Bum, bum, bum. Across from me, Mark Jensen.
Bonjour.
Oh, my. We went French today. Oh, and then we got a close-up on Mark, too. And to my right, Miss Chrissy Lund.
Hi.
Oh, Chrissy got applause.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
She's worthy of applause.
I am, aren't I? Thank
think
you.
so,
I appreciate that.
All right. Oh, we got a little close up on Chrissy too. So, when I'm checking in with y'all today, I'm going to ask a question that I haven't prepared you for, which sometimes I prepare you for. Today, the question is a question that I heard on our work trip last week. I went to a conference, and one of the speakers had us ask a partner this question. And I thought it was very unique because it really got everybody to open up and talk. And the question was super simple. So I think a lot of times we say, how's it going? That's what we ask everybody all the time, right? And then it's just like, oh, pretty good. And then, you walk by each other and nobody knows anything.
Here you got the guy that says, living the dream. And I'm just like, shut up, man.
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all those boring things. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to ask you now is, and who should I ask first? Because whoever gets asked first has the least amount of time to react. But I already kind of know the answer that Phil's going to give, so I want him to go first.
What?
Yeah, well, you're on my left. You're the first introduced.
see if you're
It kind
right.
of makes you like the co-pilot, I guess, on the ship. As
Sure.
we're
Captains
slowly
go down
crashing.
with the ship, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Co-pilots escape.
so Phil,
Yes.
what's on your mind?
You are not nice.
Interesting.
What? No,
So
that's
before
the
we-
serious question I was
yeah.
going to ask, and I'm going to ask everybody. So what's on your mind?
Before we started recording today, we were talking about braces. So,
Like leg braces, like the one
Yeah.
that Forrest Gump had when he
Yep.
was... Okay,
yep. Only they're smaller, and then you put them on your teeth.
okay.
So
You got braces on your mind.
Yeah, I just found out that my 9-year-old is going to be moving forward with some braces. And it was, I don't know. I don't know fully how I feel about it. I'm trying to place myself in both the position of myself, my spouse, my child, and even trying to figure out what in the world the orthodontist is thinking besides cha-ching.
I think generally... I'm not going to say anything about orthodontists. They're great people.
Besides that, though, I'm thinking about cheese curds.
All
I
right.
think that would make me feel better about the braces if I could get myself some cheese curds.
All right, well... thanks for sharing what's on your mind. Mark Jensen, what's on your mind?
Parlez-vous français?
No, I don't speak French. So French is on your mind?
No, I just feel what's on my mind is living the dream. Nope, we're not supposed to say that.
I didn't say how's it going. I said what's on your mind, Mark?
My mind is, lots of things I'm thinking about.
Pick one.
What's on my mind? Still on Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas time.
So yes, we went to Vegas. There were 3 of the 4 of us went to Vegas for our annual trade show. One stayed behind to take care of everything.
Guess who stayed home?
Yep, there it is. So Mark still got a little Vegas on your mind. Did you enjoy your time there?
Yeah, I always have fun in Vegas, Even though it's work trip, there's still some fun. And Vegas is just a place to be.
You mentioned earlier, Mark, and I'm going to agree with you, but you're just like, man, I could go for some sunshine again right now. But there was one particular day where Mark and I were out waiting for a tram, and I just felt like I put my arms back and I just opened up to the sun, and I'm like,
So you
fill me with vitamin D.
You actually got some sun when
Yeah.
you guys went on because you guys walked like 8 miles on the strip, right?
Mark tracked it.
Okay.
He has,
I was
he has
able to
real
look-
numbers.
Yep, on my phone. And then, so if it's somewhat work, but at least my phone said that Thursday we did 10.3 miles.
10.3?
Yeah.
Well, and it is crazy though because
lot of
like
miles.
my Fitbit, which I just got around Christmas time, almost broke because I went over like 5,000 steps. It hit like 20,000, and it was like blinking
It's
lights.
like the
and
Y2K
had a
bug,
unicorn fly by.
There's
and
not
all
enough
this-
digits on your screen.
Right,
Like,
it's like-
You got the reward for getting the step.
Yes. So you guys went 10 point. How many?
10.3. That's what it said last Thursday.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like the fact that you guys went outside was crazy because I think I was there for 5 days and I went outside to get a lift like 5 times and that was it because they want you in the casinos. It's like there's paths to the between casinos. They want you in and out quickly just so you could spend money. There's no way to find directions anywhere except for these signs up above that are hard to figure out, but you can sure find a slot machine, a blackjack table, or a roulette table. No problem.
Did you win anything, Mark? I forgot to check in.
The first day I won, and not the second day, not the third day, not the fourth day.
So overall, we'll just say you won
Yeah,
because you did win.
I did win,
Yeah,
but I got lots of points on my Players Club card,
Yeah,
which I'm really excited about.
you did. How did you get those?
Well, just the big spender I am.
Yeah, that's pretty cool how you got those.
So I just need like 7,000 more to reach the next level.
And then you
Wow.
get a.
Do you even know
And
what
then-
level you're at right now?
Yeah, I'm at Sapphire. Next one.
And then
is
how
Pearl.
many more after that level? Like that's how they get you.
Right, but I just need to get that next level. Otherwise, my points go back down
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh
at the
wow.
end of the year because I'm at the Sapphire.
So it's.
level.
I mean, this is like it's a
So
drug.
You got to go back.
You're like,
Yeah.
you need another hit.
yeah,
All right.
Oh
Almost
my.
like gambling itself.
Yes, it's like gambling for points
Yeah.
to be in a level.
I want to be in a level.
And you are in a level, but you don't want to go down a level.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause what's
Sapphire's
below-
lowest. That's lowest.
That's the
Oh.
lowest.
That's a starting.
So
point.
what's below that? You're just not a member anymore.
Right, you're just not a member.
Wow.
You know, you can calculate, like, if you have the Mohs scale of hardness for, like, elements, Sapphire is actually quite high. It's lesser only to Diamond.
I don't.
So Sapphire is actually pretty darn hard.
I don't think Mark's gonna take that as anything other than he wants whatever is associated with what's next. And
Yeah.
it's probably like gold next or something.
Yeah, well,
Gold
the
is
very
actually
top
quite
is like,
soft.
Wow, we
Oh
get
my
it. It's not a
goodness.
softness scale. It's a scale of how much money you spend.
Oh.
Which Mark spent a ton of money. We found out because he's a sapphire now.
I'm a Sapphire, but can you imagine if I get to the very top, it's like Noir or something like that, and that is like massive. I
So
think.
you said
Then everything's free.
noir.
Yeah, then
So that
everything's
you know
free.
the top level.
Yep, and that's platinum underneath there.
Okay, so
And
you
then-
you have a and it
I've been studying.
obviously Phil. This has nothing to do with.
With watches, I was thinking, like, Sapphire, like the face of the watch. But Mark just said platinum. So when I was in Vegas, Mark was very gracious, but he allowed me to stop briefly at a Rolex dealer. And there are not many in North Dakota because, I don't know, people are more practical than that, I guess. But I tried on a watch. It was beautiful. It just shined. And I was like, wow, this watch really shines nice. And the guy's like, oh, that's because it's made of platinum. Didn't think anything of it besides, hey, that's a neat, And then later on, I discovered that I was wearing a $12,000 watch. And I felt like I was now a sapphire, gold. Noir? Is that what you said?
Probably.
I felt like I was a Noir member.
Well, now you're going to be a member of the Metal Club,
Yeah.
the braces. So that $12,000 watch is now
It's
going
gone.
to the orthodontist.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have
So,
like four.
gotta
Your
bump it down.
orthodontist will be wearing a Rolex.
No Rolex.
Yes, when
for
you
me.
go in for the thing, you should see what kind of watch he's wearing and just comment on it.
Well, I'll do.
Yeah,
I'll wear my nice one and I'll just glare at him.
yep. I was waiting for another one, but I
You
should
may
wait longer.
you may be skilled, but you're taking advantage of me.
If you're looking to buy a designer watch, please call Phil. Let's watch collection.
Yeah, we should do a watch episode.
All right, Chrissy. What's on your mind?
There's so much on my mind now after all of that.
See, and that's tough too now, being the third person because it's not like.
Okay,
So
so-
like,
No,
take a
she's
deep
ready.
breath.
I'm
She's
ready.
Oh, you got
so
it. Okay.
the first thing on my mind was I would really like to see something green right now, grass wise. Like it's too white and gray outside.
Okay.
Haven't even seen the sun.
Yeah.
Second thing,
So why do you get to do multiple things?
because I'm me.
Oh, you are the woman of the group.
So the
and able
second thing
to,
that struck my mind while y'all were chatting it up is that I find it very funny that my dentist and my dental hygienist had the same orthodontist that I had. So we're all like talking about like, oh yeah, I had that
Okay,
dentist.
explain it. So, like, there's an orthodont. Like, there's like this hierarchy. So there's this orthodontist,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's you, and
Yep.
then your dentist,
And
the
my dental hygienist.
and
We
you
all
have
went
this-
to the same orthodontist when we were teenagers.
So the orthodontist would be the Noir level. Is that
Yeah.
correct? And then we work our way down to gold.
I guess.
That's
And-
probably the hygienist.
And then there's me laying in the chair getting my
Yep.
teeth fixed.
You're
You're
not-
Sapphire.
I'm
Yeah.
Sapphire.
No. I think the hygienist is sapphire.
Yeah,
I think
and
you
I'm just
are-
nothing?
You're no member.
Aw.
Okay. So then the third thing I was thinking.
Okay.
So now so now when you first asked the question, when we didn't know what the question was, then I had an answer for that too.
Okay.
So I went to a woman's goal setting summit last week.
Yeah.
And so now I have all these great like goals for the year.
Personal goals, work
Yeah,
goals?
both, all.
Awesome.
Mostly personal.
Would you like to share one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So one of my goals is to declutter my house.
Oh, cool. Are you going to use some as seen on TV
No,
contraptions? Because I think that there's
no,
a
I think
lot
I'm
of
going to
those.
use some advice that I received from other women about like how to get my kids to throw stuff away, how to let go of some stuff I've been hoarding
Yeah.
per se.
I like throwing away stuff that belongs to my children while they're sleeping.
And
I
then
do
when
that
they,
all
See,
the
and
time.
I don't do that. I like to tell my children it is broken, go put it in the garbage can because then they don't ask me for it later.
Yeah,
I say, oh, it's broken, go throw it in the garbage.
I can see that.
Chrissy does the kind of, we're going to teach, we're going to learn. This is what happens to broken things. Feels like some sort of gremlin in the night.
It's like, I
shall take
I don't
the
know where
broken
it went.
toy. I don't know where it went. And
There
then
have
you
been a
cry.
couple times I've been caught, though. They'll ask me,
Yeah.
and I'll say, it may or may not be broken and gone.
See, my husband
I
chooses
threw it
to just
away.
throw things in the garbage, and then I walk over and I'm like, why are you throwing my cups away?
Oh, yeah. My kids always see the toys in the trash, and they'll be like, why is this there? As they pull it out, and
Yeah.
it's covered in banana or whatever.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have a lot on my mind. I'm a woman. What did you expect?
I
Did you
expected.
really expect one thing?
No, I expected nothing less. And thank you for sharing all three of those things for the one thing that's on your mind.
Thank you.
All right. Today, as we get into our show here, we're going to talk about this quote. And this quote is like 4 lines long. Usually they're like really pithy and to the point. But this one, there's some math, there's some geography, and there's also a little bit of social science, and probably some sales as well. So this is a deep quote. So I'm going to read it here. If you live in the Midwest and want to close a deal with somebody in China and somebody in Ireland, your best time to close said deal is 5:43 in the morning Central Standard Time. Okay, so I'm going to go through this again. Mark, I know I could see you're really kind of crunching those numbers.
Yeah, he was dying inside while you were reading that.
Chrissy doesn't need to crunch the numbers at all because this is her life. So if you live in the Midwest and want to close a deal with somebody in China and somebody in Ireland, your best time to close said deal is 5:43 a.m. Central Standard Time. Write that down, Phil. Now, why would I say such a thing, Phil, that you
So-
would write down?
I recall you saying this to me, and I had no context. So I'm going to defer the explanation of this to Chrissy because I believe she was involved in said deal that the quote is describing. But you told me to write it down, and this was not my thing.
Well, it's not. It's everybody's thing on planet Earth because I said it and it's great
Yeah.
content. And
Wah, wah.
I don't have that sound
However,
effect. The only sound effect I have is this one.
It's okay.
So
I'm here.
It was written down and
here
it's
for you.
fantastic. So
But like this is, I believe Chrissy and you were working on this project, so I think she remembers.
All right. Well, I don't remember, but I will say you're wrong.
Because you're decluttering.
What?
Chrissy, you just decluttered. You don't remember. So you got some out of your brain you didn't have to keep.
what's
He's wrong. You're wrong.
okay? Is
Okay,
there a time that's better than 5:43 a.m.?
Yes.
What time is that?
Okay. I don't have a specific time, but I will tell you why you were wrong.
Well, I did the math,
I did the math.
but you don't have a specific time.
5:43 a.m. Central Standard Time is 11:43 a.m. Ireland time.
Okay.
Okay, so that may be true because, boom, you do the sale, they're off to lunch,
Right.
they're happy.
What about Chinatown?
China is 14 hours ahead of us. So
Okay.
5:43 a.m. Central Standard Time is 7:43 p.m. and they are not working.
Pacific time though, Chinese Pacific time, they are working
China
because
has-
it's like 4:43.
China has one time zone. It is called Beijing time, and it was for the unity of the nation.
I think they call that communism.
I don't know. I don't know socialism, communism, capitalism. I'm just amazed that you came so prepared for
Oh,
this
yeah.
conversation today.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't know any of
I
that.
saw my name in the email, and I was like, "Oh, I got this."
You also said that in Ireland they're just doing the deal, going off to lunch, and I started craving Guinness. So in addition to the cheese curds, add Guinness to my list of things on my mind.
Let me tell you something about Guinness at lunch. When you work for the government, you have a 1-drink lunch rule. Whether that's official or not, I don't
In
know.
Ireland?
Rule?
No. in the United States.
Oh,
When I worked for the government. We would
Oh,
go to
like that's the
lunch.
government saying you can.
I don't know, but it was my job. And we were like, hey, we got one beer rule.
So like you took it seriously. You're like
kinda
every
like
lunch
that.
you're having a beer.
Not every lunch.
Not every lunch, but
if
you
you
knew
wanted
it.
one, we would have one and then go
Okay.
back to work.
What if like you had like what if you had 4 people there and only 2 of you wanted to drink,
Have at it.
but would everybody order one?
Well, we didn't live anywhere we could order anything, silly.
Well, you were
We were sitting in a dorm.
yeah, in like Wyoming or something.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Utah.
No.
It was close to Utah.
Okay, so that might be an unwritten rule.
Okay.
Just like the
Don't
rule.
fact check that one.
Don't fact that. No.
But fact check the 5:43
Do it.
a.m. Central Standard
Do
Time.
it.
And what'd you say it was? Beijing
Time.
time. Okay. Mark Jensen, what do you think when it comes to this time? Do you think it's 5:43 a.m.? Okay. So you don't have a specific time?
Well, no, I know that. Okay, so in Ireland, maybe you're closing a deal at 11:45 because they're going to go to lunch and they want to seal the deal and leave. But I'm not at work at 5:43 a.m.
so you're saying this really only benefits the dude with the Guinness in Ireland.
Exactly.
So he's having a great deal,
Yeah.
and all y'all are.
And if you're trying to talk to China, you have to wait till the next day.
or is it already the next day?
It's not because it's PM there
Okay, got it.
and they're
All right,
no longer in the office.
Mark, I have no idea what's going on right
No,
now.
all I know at 5:43 a.m. I'm probably going to the bathroom.
We don't need that visual.
Unless the Earth is flat,
Oh my.
because then you wouldn't have to. Never mind.
All right.
But I know one thing: in Vegas, there is no time.
That's
Correct.
that is correct.
I will second that. So you guys described this to me. It was my first time in the town, and you kept saying it's really difficult to keep track of time, and they pipe oxygen into the hotels, that sort of thing. I got to tell you, even with the time change, so I should have been like, it's 2 hours, later than it would have normally been back home, and even with that happening, I wasn't tired. So I ended up staying up 4 hours later than I normally would have, and still had trouble going to sleep. It was wild.
yeah,
They
they
make
want
pills
you
for
awake.
that.
Yeah. I think Michael had some Z-Quil. He said it worked well.
Fun stuff. But 5:43 a.m. Why would I say that?
I have no idea.
Something
you were
happened.
probably up at 5:43 a.m.
Didn't you
I
do
probably
a deal
was.
at that time?
I'm sure I did.
You know, and that's the thing. Okay, so I come into work 7:30. If I'm working on a project with people in Ireland, I will have emails waiting for me
Right. and
because it's morning-ish for them.
yeah, maybe what I meant was like that's when the deal gets done after everybody's like synced up.
Are you
Mentally?
second? Is this the first time you're second guessing your own write this down
It might be.
wisdom?
See, and
I'm-
I don't
and
remember because I don't write that stuff down. I just Matt's talking.
Because you're decluttering already.
decluttering.
Yes. And Phil, now I feel like Phil's staring at me. I'm not looking at him, and I can feel it
I have
coming through my head.
lost respect
Yeah. For who?
for Matt. Here
Yeah.
I was thinking that everything I was writing down was like physical gold, or maybe noir, or
You had to
sapphire.
have known by then. By this point in the notebook, you had to have known.
I'm
I
trying
don't think.
I'm trying to fake surprise here.
See, I don't think he still knows. But seriously, I'm gonna look at you now, Phil. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not taking any of it back. I do truly believe that if you are trying to make this deal, it's 5:43 a.m. Central Standard Time. So anybody who's watching this, who's in sales, production, manufacturing, whatever you're in, if you've got, stop it, Chrissy,
I've got an idea. I think I know how to make this work.
please.
So, do they or do they not say that people of the Chinese culture have excellent work ethic? So perhaps the person you were doing the deal with, who is based in China, on his own decided, you know what, I'm going to work late to
Nope.
make this deal happen.
Nope.
You don't think that was it?
Nope.
I think the average workday in China starts at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and goes till 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That's their normal workday. I read that in a book somewhere.
I don't think that's true because when I talk to a vendor who has to speak with their factory, it's always, I have to ask the factory, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yes, because you're done at 5 o'clock and they have to ask them at at 7 o'clock.
So you think there's a 2 hour window?
3. I think I put a 3-hour window in there.
Have you ever made a deal at 5:43 a.m.?
Oh yes.
What kind of deal?
I went to the bathroom.
Parlez-vous français?
At
Oui,
5:43,
oui.
I'm not even negotiating with children yet.
Did you? Oui, oui.
Like-
That's yes, yes, not pee. Oui, oui. Yes, yes.
All right, I do have a question though.
Now I'm craving like baguettes and
Oh man.
beignets,
Poor Phil. He's hungry all
French
the time.
fries.
some coffee with some chicory. Oh, I'm ready.
Chicory.
Yeah.
What is chicory?
I don't know.
It's like okay. So I went to New Orleans one time
I think it's Nolans,
and
not New Orleans.
whatever. I'm Central Standard Time, man. Just
right.
give me a break.
Got it.
And so apparently they used to dilute their coffee and using chicory root as a substitute for coffee to basically stretch it further, and it became a style of coffee. So it's a combination of coffee beans, chicory root, and you can buy it at the Cafe du Monde.
So that
Sounds
sounds
cheap.
French, Mark. What does that say to you?
That is one high-class chicken.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
Chicken.
It's like
With the
chicken.
price of eggs now, I bet
Oh,
that
yeah.
chicken is walking around a designer bag.
So I I totally bought eggs with my 3-year anniversary gift yesterday.
Nice. You have to.
Matt and
We gave him a sapphire ring.
yeah, Matt and the other
he traded it in to buy eggs.
And
the
some
other
magic beans.
owners gave me a gift card, and I'm just like, what am I going to use this for? And it was eggs.
$10,000 eggs.
I can get you a good deal on
And he
eggs.
got 2 dozen.
You got 2 dozen.
Yep.
All right, so we've got some teammates who work in the Philippines, and we communicate with them all day long. They actually work on the Central Standard Time schedule. We actually have a teammate in Palm Springs in California who is Pacific Time, and she pretty much works Central Standard Time schedule. So when you are talking to our Filipino teammates, which it's pretty much a flip there. It's like 12 hours difference almost there, literally on the other side of the planet. Do you say good morning to them, or do you say good evening, or do you say good day when you greet them?
I talk to them like they're in my own office. So when I come in, I say, good morning.
Okay, even though it's not morning there.
Yep.
Okay. How does that make them feel, do you think?
I don't know. I never asked, but she usually starts it. So
I agree, because we talked to the same person.
Yeah.
Her name is Mitch.
So
and she
she'll be
says
like,
good
"Good
morning to
morning."
me, and I say good evening.
oh, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm super whatever.
We're gonna have to talk about that. Okay.
I say good doggin.
Oh,
I
now
don't
we're
even know what-
Norwegian.
Is that Norwegian?
Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
Is that Norwegian?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
betcha.
I think it's English.
Well,
I think
right
that's
now-
English too.
English slang of
Well, right
Norwegian.
now I'm trying to think of another person on our team. I wonder, like Kim in that big community of Thompson. Is she on Central
Yeah,
Time?
she went south.
Yeah, Thompson might have their own. It might be like China, where they've got their own time zone for the whole country. Thompson does as well. Phil, what do you think? Do you think Thompson has its own time zone?
So it might, because very often when I call Kim, she is literally out to lunch. But she'll answer her phone anyway.
Okay, so first,
That's a whole nother
Chrissy
thing.
is rude
Oh.
because she says good morning when obviously it's evening there, and then Phil says Kim is out to lunch.
No, I always
So
feel bad because
I think these
she'll-
teammates that we have are super phenomenal, and I really
No,
appreciate
let
what
me
they do.
finish. She'll answer the phone
Okay.
and she'll say, "Hey Phil, what's up?" And I'll like go into my thing like, "Hey, I have a question about billing this and billing that." And she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to work on it. I'm actually in the middle of lunch right now, so I'll work on it when I get back to my house." And then I feel awful because she listened to my whole spiel before letting me know, yeah, it's not happening now.
Okay, this is leading to a different thought then. Like, so is she always eating lunch? So it's like, does it depend on the time of day that you talk to her? Like, she's eating lunch, or are you calling her at like noon?
I guess I call her when I am in my office. So, and usually I take my lunch at noon. And so if I am calling her, it's before noon or it's after 1. So I didn't think it was like contacting her at an unusual time.
Yeah,
But
I see.
I get it wrong regularly.
So this isn't like it happened one time.
Oh no, I do it all the time. I've even said to her, "Hey, I'm really sorry. You don't have to answer my call if you're at lunch."
Wowzers.
Yeah.
So Thompson's
They might
Zip,
be.
or not, their time zone is out to lunch. It's like
Maybe it's an
being
hour
from
off.
Canada and like you're always on holiday, right?
Every
Like,
Monday.
Yeah, or every day. Like Thompson, you're eating lunch, and you will take the call, but you're bothered because
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I was having lunch in Canada, I would need a serviette.
Oh.
And I'd
Oh,
go,
Mark should know what that is.
I'd go and wash my hands in the
Catsup.
washroom rather than the bathroom.
Did you say catsup? Is that what's a serviette? Is that like a?
It's a napkin.
Yes.
Okay.
They got fancy.
Okay, now
they got-
Mark gets it.
They
Yeah.
got fancy
Oh, yeah.
names
I
for
was just gonna
everything.
say catsup.
It wasn't catsup. It was napkin. That's what I thought.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So we've got our teammates all across the planet. Some of us speak nicely to them in their time zone.
Rude.
Others don't. Mark, how do you speak to our Filipino teammates? Do you take into account what time of day that they're
Always.
working in the middle of the night?
He's lying.
You're calling them a liar.
I am.
Wow.
Okay. Phil.
Boy, these people must have the reviews already. They,
Alright.
no, they can't.
I
get
did.
Yeah, everybody had their reviews. You're good for another week. So, Phil, I think you need to decide who's right on this one because Mark says that he really takes into account that our Filipino teammates are up in the middle of the night, and that's their shift. That's normal for them. They work overnights, and he will say good evening or good night.
I just say
or-
hi.
Okay, now you're backpedaling. And
Because he knows that I've got
and
him.
Chrissy called him a liar.
No, it's-
Chrissy's out for blood today.
Apparently.
I'm dead. Like,
Well,
I'm
you know what
done.
happens when you go to those women's conference.
OMG.
Wow.
I made a lot of new friends.
Wow. Wow.
That's why I have 22 plants. And hopefully more.
All right, I got one more question before and this can be maybe a speed round. But what do you generally think about time change? Like, so there's obviously, I get it, whether you're on the flat Earth theory like Phil or you believe their globe is round.
No, I'm not. I'm not there. I was making a joke.
Oh, okay.
I have
So-
looked into it, however.
Yes. So for those of you who are on the flat Earth theory, the sun goes around the
Firmament.
yes.
It's a dome.
It's okay.
Called the firmament. That's all I know.
Either way, the Earth is sitting still, flat, and then the sun and the moon are moving around
They're
it.
within the dome.
Or if you're on the round Earth theory, we are moving around the sun and spinning on our axis, as we learned in like second or third grade.
Correct.
Either way, I get that like the sun is daytime and the dark is nighttime. So obviously you need to calibrate your calendars and your schedules that way. Who made that decision and what do we think about that?
Man, I got thoughts on this.
I do too.
Okay, Phil, you go first.
So I have always had a problem with time as a dimension. So you hear people talk all the time. But I'm not going to get too sciencey, but like people are like, okay, length, width, height, and they've got all these things. And they're like, time is, dimension. And then they start getting all sci-fi and they talk about time travel. I don't think time is a dimension. I think it's a label that we as people have created with which to measure some observable event. Like, let's say you're going to do the length of this table. I create something called an inch. I say, this is going to be the standard. I make a ruler, and now I can measure the table. So they sit here, and it's like, okay, the sun is going up and down. So that's the most, like, obvious thing that they're observing. And they're like, hey, I'm going to call this rotation. There we go. See, it's round. But I'm going to call...
The light bulb just went off in his head.
Oh, my.
It is round.
So you're going to call this rotation, day, and then you start making your label. So we have attributed basically our own measurements that we've set aside, and through the years, through different cultures, it has become a standard, let's say, your 12-hour day, your 24-hour day. And I'm calling something I'm observing time, but it is not a road that I can drive forward and backwards on. Like, I do not think it is a dimension at all. I think it's an observation.
So you're not like
It's a
me where
label.
you think like people like in the Philippines who are ahead of us actually see the future.
No.
I mean,
No.
sometimes I think that, and I ask Mitch, I'm like, so what's going to happen today?
No, they're saying
And she never lets me know, but
it's
I think
just
she
semantics.
knows.
Like if you're saying, hey, the future, which is tomorrow, but it's like, let's say somebody decided we're not doing daylight savings time. Did I just travel through time?
See, and
No, I just changed the label, and now I'm living my life. So
you brought up daylight savings time,
Yeah.
which is a whole nother discussion. And
Well, I have a
want to
question.
find before we go. I want to find out Chrissy's
Okay, well,
thought on
first of all,
time travel and-
time travel.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that's what we were
Time
talking
zones
about after
make
Phil said
sense
that.
because when it's noon here, the sun is straight above us.
Yeah. It's helpful in that
But it
regard.
is not straight above other locations. So when the sun is straight above the other location, it is now noon for them.
Yeah, but then
It
you have to
makes
be
sense.
like by the equator. Otherwise, it starts getting all wobbly.
It has a lot to do with farming.
Okay,
It does. He
so-
laughed at me.
No, I'm.
Now I'm thinking about grains, and then you can make Guinness out of it.
No.
So after
Stop.
this, we're gonna go
Turn
have a
his
little.
mic off.
We're gonna have a little chat after this. Maybe have a drink of something. Phil is probably gonna have like a $40 bill of like
Do you want your
cheese
chickens?
curds,
Do you want your chickens
chicken
going
bread.
cock-a-doodle-doo at midnight when you're trying to sleep?
Good point.
See, you want them doing it at a different time.
But maybe they're doing it because the humans have trained them to.
To be fair,
because
though,
of the time
time
continuum.
in general has nothing to do with farming, but daylight savings was all for farming and to get everybody going while the light was there.
All right,
instead of in the
we've-
dark.
We've fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
Mark, I will leave you the last words on what you think about time and
Time heals everything.
I feel like you should press the sound effect.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna press the song and just be like, we're gonna roll out with that. So thank you all for joining us on this journey today throughout time and history and space. And if you ever need to find us, you can find us at probeatuspromo.com anytime. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Next time.
time.
Time.